Welcome back to Momentous Struggle. We are doing a battle report here. This is from a recorded game from the Phoenix GT at Gamers Guild. I have Magalator, also known as Dane's brother, who has joined me to talk about the game and take a look at everything. So we have Matt Sereno, Damio Matt, and Frenchie. His name's Seth, who's one of the locals here from Arizona, in the finals. Going to take a look at that. Looks like Matt was bringing his Maul and armor list, and then Frenchie has the Han Solo and Cassian Andor list. So it's a pretty interesting list for both of the players. Well, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that I enjoy about Matt's list is it's kind of a throwback.
Right.
I mean, Maul and Armor had seen a lot of play before, but you don't see them that often, especially in top play. There are a few people that have, been able to bring her, but especially since the Cassian boss meta has been going on, it's very rare not to see just Cassians or bosses in the finals. So being able to see Matt come into the finals with this list is a lot of fun. And I mean, honestly, Maul and Armor have a fun play style it's enjoyable to watch.
Right.
And then one thing I didn't notice until I think it was going into the finals is that Frenchie's list is just the boxes. I didn't realize that his list is just the Cassian box and then the Han box put together. I thought it was an actual customized list, but no, he brought two boxes straight from the box, which goes to show you can just buy two boxes, play them together, and still be able to make it into the finals of a GT. You don't need to buy 5 boxes to intermix all the different units.
Yeah, 100%. He played. He played well. I mean, he comes from a 40K background, so I think he's pretty. He has the miniature gaming background to begin with, and Matt came into this event. Him and I think there was like 4 or 5 other players that just decided not to play Cassian and not to play Boss, and just kind of play things that they liked. So that was kind of a cool little thing that those guys were doing to kind of get something different, especially coming off of Adepticon where everybody was playing Boss, everybody was playing Cassian. So it was kind of nice to see that definitely come out.
Yeah.
All right, well let's go ahead and jump in. I believe they are playing on strategic positions, so that was an interesting call. I mean, that mission, the first struggle of this mission takes so long, and I we were saying that at Adepticon, and it kind of carried over to this event. I remember watching a lot of people still on struggle 1 when Mission Critical was called on this one. So I know Matt was really good at pushing the pace. So yeah.
Matt does a good job at pushing the pace of the game forward. And my experience and what I've seen from strategic position is I feel if both players are playing very equal in struggle 1, that's when it can take a long time, because it's very easy to just do the 3 and 3 back and forth where no one's really pushing the lead.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so
I can
all
see
right.
it.
Well,
yeah, let's
we'll
jump
go
in and take a
ahead
look.
and get it started here.
Yeah. And the first poll is for, looks like that is the Pathfinders?
The Pathfinders, yeah. So Frenchie going first here, pulling the Pathfinders, which I feel like the Pathfinders are a pretty decent first choice. Commandos are more the supports here that you wouldn't want to pull turn 1, because they a lot of times can't get the shot off unless you really just send them up to die.
Right, and he already has those back points, so it's not like he really wants to go charging forward here anyway, because Matt's really the one who's going to want to move up to take those 2 points up at the front there. So he does have that 1 point that's kind of underneath the other. The gantry on the left hand side there that he's probably going to try and move up and get to, though.
He moved the commandos instead of the
Yep,
pathfinders.
wrong ones.
Yeah. But yeah, so actually looking like a little bit rougher for him on the start just because he's activating guys on the opposite side of where that active
Yeah,
objective is
not
on
going to
the
be able to
left.
get to that other point, and only securing 2 points right from the rip is not exactly what he wanted to, especially because he's not scoring first. Matt's going to be able to probably move up and at least take 2 points and make it a 2-2 tie going into the next activation
Yeah.
for Frenchie. So yeah, interesting. Not the greatest pull for him just because of the side of the board that he was on, though.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
So,
but
he
a
just takes those back 2
typical
points.
first turn is the
Yep,
move action, hunker, end turn.
exactly.
Oh, it looks like he is going to
Oh,
use
he does have another ability.
the ability to give him a dash.
Right, so he is going to go ahead and take the dash so he can get up on that point. Decided to go ahead and do that, use for the force. I mean, Matt was nice enough to basically let him go ahead and because nothing had changed to take the move. So he does go and take that third point, which is good for him. I mean that is going to push the Matt to be a little more aggressive.
Yeah.
Matt pulls Gar Saxon right off the top, and an interesting pull there because he does have Pride of the Mandalore to kind of get some people moving forward if he wanted to sit there and choose another allied Mandalorian character to move forward.
Yeah, he's going to be able to get to his center point there. So
Yep.
the big thing he's going to need to look at is who does he want to move with? Because a lot of times on the first early pulls, it can make a big difference on who you use your tactic on, giving them that little extra distance to be able to go in on their turn.
Right.
Sometimes throwing it on armor is okay, but I tend to throw it on Bo-Katan if I'm playing a Gar Saxon Bo-Katan combo.
Yeah, just to get her bubble a little farther forward always makes sense to kind of move her forward just to sit there and start getting that bubble going. But he decides
Yeah.
to move the Super Commando forward instead,
That
which will
makes
hit
sense,
the ladder
'cause-
and then basically
yeah.
just get him onto that point. Yeah. And then just do another climb action with Gar to go ahead and move, which triggers the Mandalorian to stronger together, giving him the hunker, which is really or for the focus, I should say.
Yeah, and that's honestly why he went with the Super Commando there too, is that way he could get that stronger commando. Stronger
Absolutely,
together.
yep. And then he basically just uses his jump
Oh.
back. It's there, and has a nice little shot right into that pathfinder. Or no, it's the commando that's back there.
One of my favorite things about Gar Saxon
Yeah,
is that he ignores cover.
yeah.
And Pathfinders have two hunkers, and so the he's gonna go, oh, you're gonna get 3 extra dice? No, I'm shooting with Gar Saxon. You don't get any extra dice. You just get
And
your
because of the
base value.
focus, he has sharpshooter too, so just all sorts of dice getting
Yeah.
rolled here by Matt with Gar Saxon and that attack into him.
Oh, so right now he's checking to see if he's within range of Chewie to get the extra dice.
Yep.
Oh, we
looks
got
like
us
he's
ourselves
just
an
out of
Aubrey coming in to make a judge call here.
Yeah, just on the angle of our camera, it's like pretty hard to tell. But Matt goes in and just does his attack roll here.
Yeah, it looks like he is not within 2 of Chewie, so he'll just get his base dice here. Still a good roll. 1 fail, 3 blocks, and an expertise on the defense.
Yeah, so it's going to be 4 blocks total, which is, yeah.
Yeah,
3 damage
all
and a
those
jump and a
dice.
shove, yeah. Not ideal, but I mean, he does shove him back off of the point. I mean, then he does get another jump, which I think might actually get him within that point to take that point there.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
he'll be able to take it.
Yep. So scores 3 points still, which is pretty nice.
Yeah.
Puts the pressure right back on Seth to try and bring it back to him, and he brings K2, which is an interesting play because now you're moving K2 off of that point if he decides to go with him.
Yeah. Yeah, I do
And I don't.
like Matt's first play there because it did put pressure onto Frenchie's back points, which means now Matt should have a lot less pressure going onto that left center point.
Yep. And he does decide to go with him. I don't. Again, that's one of those where you are abandoning a point really early, where there's a lot of things that and he has a lot of movement that can get all the way to that back point. Is a little concerning to sit there and do that so early in the game, but I think
Yeah.
you also have to try and get Gar off of that point to take that point back too. And just putting all sorts of hunkers on those commandos.
Yep. The commandos love their hunkers.
Yes, they do. So just moves K2 right up into basically base to base contact with him, with Gar Saxon, and gonna basically go ahead and do a punch him pretty good there.
Pretty good
4
defense roll.
blocks though.
Yeah.
That Beskar armor is always great.
There we go.
So 2 crits going through.
Yeah, K2 doesn't have the greatest expertise. I mean, one expertise for a crit's pretty good.
Yeah. So it is going to be 4 damage and a shove, it looks like. Maybe 2 shoves? He could do 2 shoves. Okay. Okay. So. Yep. So yes, so he decides to go with the path that gives him 2 shoves. So it's going to be like basically 2 damage, 1 from the expertise, and then 1 from the tree, and then 2 shoves to shove him right off of the point and make sure that he stays on it.
Yeah, and being able to get the shoves he needs to get him off the point and take it back, and now K2 is going to lock that down.
Yep.
Which
Yeah.
K2 does a
right back to 0.
fantastic job locking it down.
Yep. Yeah, that is what K2 does best, is basically kind of just hold the point better than most. So Shatter Point for Matt's pretty solid here, though. It gives him the ability to do just about anything. Could run, like he's looking at, could run Maul all the way up the board if he wanted to. Could go with armor. Armor could probably get all the way up and hit the Pathfinders and take that point from the Pathfinders if he wanted to as well. There's a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
do
options
like
there.
the play with Maul just because then he can pull K2 off the point with his force pull. So that way, no matter what happens, he guarantees that K2 is no longer on the point.
Yeah.
Where armor can go over and bonk, but if the dice don't dice, then he doesn't get the point.
Yep. No, I can see that. I can see. I mean, look, Maul's just. I mean, he just hits so hard too. It makes sense to just sit there and go out. And you can, and pulling him off the point with that is just pull off exposed. Yep.
Yep. So going with Maul.
Yep.
Hurting himself to do abilities.
Yeah, I mean it's what he's made to do, because he definitely just you hurt yourself twice to do your different abilities, and then all of a sudden you're adding an extra dice to your pool, to your attack pool, and it's the best line of play that you can do with him. I love it.
Yeah.
So basically, yeah, I mean I love that ability where you can just pull him towards you, expose him, and then attack. All right, so they're basically just making sure that he's pulling him in an angle that was like not going to hit the barricade, so he pulls him straight into Gar Saxon there.
Yeah, yeah. It is the one thing when you're getting those pulls and pushes is sometimes you got to really make sure you measure them out well. Oh
Man,
wow, an exposed defense roll of 4 straight blocks.
right? Yeah, his defensive dice are looking pretty solid so far to start out this game. He's So the nice thing was on this attack, he did get his reposition to basically reposition right onto the point, though. So he only did I think he only did 5 damage here, but he did get that reposition, which is the most important thing I think he needed to do.
Yeah, I think that's really what he was looking for is after pulling him to just get the reposition at least.
Yep.
So the one thing is when there's that one box you're looking to get, as long as you hit it, you end up kind of happy.
Absolutely. All right, and then going back to Frenchie, he gets the Shatterpoint card.
Back-to-back shatter points. All right. There's a lot of good potential options, but I think commandos are probably the best option. You just start blasting.
Especially and you have Maul right there. You can really put a lot of damage into him as he's already got 3 on him. So they only needed to collectively put 8 onto him if they wanted to take him out and take that point back.
Oh, just gonna shatter point Han Solo.
Yeah, okay. Oh no, Shatterpointing Cassian.
No, he's shatter pointing Han Solo. He's telling him Cassian's ability.
Got it. Oh, okay.
Because the Shatterpoint ability where he just gives all his buddies Impact 2 and Sharpshooter 2.
That is right. Cassian is so
even if
good.
they're not his buddies, even if they're
Right.
Does he give it to non-rebels?
What was that?
Yeah, he gives the Impact 2 and Shatterpoint 2 to non-rebels too, right?
As they just need to be a Rebel Alliance unit.
Oh, it is a Rebel Alliance unit. Okay.
Yeah. So since everything on this list is a Rebel Alliance unit, they will have Impact 2 and Sharpshooter 2. So yeah, pretty gross. Pretty gross. So so basically he is going to go with Han, move him forward.
So tactic on K2 to move K2 back to the point.
Yep. Yeah, definitely an interesting pull to go with him. So basically, what they're just kind of discussing how Han's active ability works here. Basically, just who moves and who doesn't move is really kind of the big thing that they're looking at with this one is determining. So one person can basically Han's ability is if one person dashes and he dashes if is the way that it works. So each character in the chosen unit can make a full advance. Otherwise, each character makes a dash. So it's like that's kind of what the whole debate was whether what they are going to be each make a full move or each make a dash.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of changes your decision on who you're using the ability on, whether you want them to get the dash or a full advance.
Exactly. So he just moves and is going to basically use the sharpshooter to go ahead and do an attack and rolling a ton of dice.
No fails on that 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 dice attack. 0 fails.
Yeah, it's pretty gross because he was on his gunslinger side, so basically 7 plus the focus and sharpshooter 2 allowed him to roll 10 dice.
Full tree.
Yep.
Han be blasting.
Yep, doing 8 damage total and expose and shove him, which allows him to basically wound Maul right here.
That is the perfect amount to wound him too. That just gets it. Now here's the downside of wounding Maul is when he's still in the order deck. So when he gets pulled, he's coming back with 3 guaranteed dice.
Yeah.
And then he'll be able to get another one by damaging himself with his ability. So he could get 4 extra dice.
Yep. 100% can definitely do that. I mean, and the nice thing was he was smart enough to wound Maul with a range attack, so he doesn't get his revenge off of the. I don't know if it was actively thinking that in his mind or not, but it definitely was the right move to make sure that he was wounding him that way for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the one thing a lot of people forget about Maul is that he has that melee revenge.
Absolutely.
Which can come back to haunt you.
Yep. And now he does have, after his 5 dice attack that basically is able to use as well. I don't know.
2 damage on the guard.
Outnumbered or not outgunned.
Yeah.
And then going back to the center. But they are moving through this pretty fast, actually. I'm glad to see that they're moving through this first struggle as quickly as they are. A lot of momentum going back and forth.
Yeah.
So he does pull armor here.
All right. So, with this, I would say armor goes to that left midpoint.
Right.
Attacks the Pathfinders.
Yeah, ideally, I think that's where he wants to go is with the Pathfinder to go after those Pathfinders. There are a nice target, and she can hit pretty hard with that for sure. She's known to be able to just use all of her abilities to kind of just go up and really put a hurt on somebody. Her both hunter and prey ability is pretty amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, being able to expose the person before doing a massive hammer attack into them really ends up doing a lot. Okay. Uses a tactic on guard to get him back up onto the point.
Which makes sense. I mean, he still only has the one. Now he's tied the model up there. No tiebreakers or anything like that, but does have that there. And then basically going to jump her to that, coming down the egress point right onto that other point. Basically being able to just now move action and get right up into. Can't really see him underneath the gantry, but he's going to get into range of the.
Hits another ingress point to go up after the move. And then Hunter and Prey advance. Right. Boom, right on the K2.
Okay.
Armor doing what Armor wants to do. Move across the board and attack whoever she wants.
Yep, and then moves over to hit K2. All right, so 3 blocks.
1 miss on the attack, 1 miss on the block.
Yeah. So 5 down the tree with armor.
That is a decent amount.
Yeah.
I'll say she usually averages about, I'd say 4 or 5 is like the average, and then you can go unlucky and get less or lucky and get full tree, but
right.
I've played her a lot, and there's very few times that I get less than 4 on attack.
Yeah, she's pretty dependable to get 4 or 5 down her tree just because of her expose and everything that she can do with that hunter and prey ability. So he did wound K2SO. So some pretty good stuff that happens with K2SO because he is able to basically do his pseudo revenge trigger that he has once he gets wounded, where he's basically able to give the attacking character pin and strain, and then any spy within 3 can also dash. So pretty good ability here, and it's. So, like, he tried to move the other character, but they weren't within 3, so I don't think he actually has anybody that can dash back onto the point.
Okay, so he can move Cassian.
Yeah. And Cassian gets up onto that point, which is pretty smart there because that does basically kind of secure the point for the future if someone if match decides to go and try and take that point back.
Wow, he's gonna have 3 revenge triggers on this wound. He
Right.
so 5 die Han into armor.
Right.
One miss on the attack.
Yeah, he has 3 natural blocks, and his expertise turns a crit to just a regular hit. So
There we
nothing
go.
goes through because it's armor. She's pretty solid.
Armor does not want you to attack her.
No, not at all. And of course, he's going to have the Cassian revenge trigger, but that doesn't have an attack on it either. So not that greatest. Matt scores 3 again. Moves pretty fast through the struggle so far, though. I mean, in all honesty, I mean, it's been a 3 and 3 back and forth the entire time.
Yeah. Yeah, so Frenchie did miss his Cassian revenge trigger there, but
He did, didn't he?
yeah, which definitely could have been a big play because he would have been able to move that Pathfinder he wanted to move onto that point, and then he would not have been able to take it.
Right, and that would have kept it to where Matt only scored 2 instead, and that would have really kind of helped out him quite a bit. But he does end up pulling the Pathfinder or the Rebel Commandos here. Commandos are going to lose their hunkers, and they have a couple of different targets they could go after here if they wanted to.
Yeah, pulling them before they get wounded is definitely helpful there.
So he's looking at where he's going to go with the Commando Doctrine. Is like what he's. Because yeah, you definitely don't want to have their force economy taxed by being wounded. So definitely, there you're right. They definitely want to go as early as possible when it comes to this, and them having 3 damage on them already. They are pretty easy to take out at this point in time with only having the 8 damage that total that they can take.
Yeah. Yeah, and being able to get them out early helps out too to just increase that range of their, free damage on coordinated fire. Oh, all right. We have another range attack in armor. Let's see if armor allows some damage to hurt her.
More than likely,
she has
no.
beautiful pure Beskar armor, so
Yeah. No, she is a very hard target to take down. I usually ignore her when it comes to attacking her, because 1 expertise is just so good on her. So 4 blocks.
there you go.
Just because of 1 expertise. Oh, so that
Oh, that was in the guard.
he decided to go into Gar instead of armor there. Okay.
Oh, 3 misses on the defense roll.
Yeah,
0
not
misses
that
on the
great.
attack roll.
So yeah,
Oh,
it
that's a
looks
lot
like
of
that's
expertise, though.
Yeah, unfortunately, like he hit mass the critical mass of expertise. Unfortunately, on that roll, he said 6 expertise on that roll.
Yeah.
Did not get what he wanted there. So only 3
Like, can we
through.
just stop at 2 expertise, please?
Right.
There you go.
So
Killing
three damage and a
Gar.
pin is going to be enough to put him down. So Gar Saxon's going to get wounded here. So basically going to do he's going to shove forward. Definitely should be able to get forward enough to take that point because they still have a move action as well. They've just been fighting back and forth over that point this entire game.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's kind of what ends up happening, I feel like, in this mission, is there's one point that just kind of keeps going back and forth. Now, they've been able to get wounds, which I think is going to speed up the struggle. But if wounds weren't happening, and I mean, looking at the struggle tracker, they would just be bouncing back and forth and not really making any progress.
Yep.
So, but hitting the middle every time and getting wounds, they're filling up their tracker very quickly.
Right. So here's the covert Mandos. I mean, if he can flip a point and get a wound, basically he wins the struggle here. Because, like you said, they've just been going back to that 3 this entire time. Because he's only 8. I think the coverts have a chance to probably take out the Pathfinders here if they wanted to. They could actually even take out the... They could double up on that point where the... there's a lot of options.
Yeah, I mean, if he really wants to get the wound, he can go with the against the commandos and kill them. But then he can't take that point that he needs to be able to swing it. And with K2 sitting on that point, well, it's K2. Even if K2's wounded, he still locks it down, right?
I believe so. I don't think his ability matters because the lockdown ability. No, it says, well, this unit is not wounded, is his lockdown ability. So he would have to not be wounded.
Outnumber them.
Correct.
And take it. That's right.
So, so the lockdown ability would not be in play right here. So, basically, it looks like he's going to go and at least try and take that point. It really, either way, it puts pressure on Frenchie to win the next struggle because even if he scores 3 here and forces him to score, it forces Frenchie to either score 4 because then it gives him another momentum. It's really putting Frenchie in a bad position. So move focused. Okay. And basically they're going to sharpshooter into... He is going to go in the Pathfinders with, what is this, like 7, 8 dice?
This would be, 7 dice.
Yep, 7 dice. And 4 fails on that. So, this was a huge roll for Matt. So he hits 5 down his tree because that was just a really bad roll for Frenchie, unfortunately. Yeah. His dice really turned on him there.
I mean, I will say his dice has been very hot. So to see a roll finally turn, it kind of helps balance out that dice economy.
Right. Yeah, that's a full tree for the commandos.
Whew.
Yeah. So it's like basically going to do 6 damage, put strain and disarm, shove him and jump. So basically just get him completely off the point. So looking at the angle to basically kind of shove him straight down the line of that, like kind of in line with the piece of terrain there.
Yeah, so...
that should get him off the point by shoving him straight back.
Yeah, letting his opponent know what the intent of the shove is, because he's going to need to move his own character because of... It's hard to reach around the building.
Right.
The one nice thing, these tables are very large, but it also makes it a little bit harder to reach around. So shoves him off, but that also sets him up to where I believe that covert is now no longer engaging the Pathfinders because of the shove, so now he's able to take the shot for his sharpshooter. Oh,
that's the dice
3.
just completely turn on him. Just one expertise.
3 misses and an expertise, so he gets 1 block.
Yeah, so I mean that was just the dice just turned on Frenchie at the wrong time here, and basically just gave Matt the 100% gave Matt the struggle just by being able to 100% take everything out. So just shoves him twice. Does enough damage to get the wound, and of course all the revenge triggers are going to take place. Yeah.
So he gets the 5 die shot, and he can move 1 person, but he's got 2 bodies on that point, which means the move from Cassian's not going to steal the point away.
Correct. Yep. So no K2 trigger. he can't use the Han Solo trigger because Han Solo is engaged with armor, and he has to
Oh,
he doesn't have.
he
That's the
doesn't
one
get to
thing I
move. He
don't like
just
about he doesn't
shoots.
get to move. That's the one
Yeah.
thing I don't like about Han's revenge trigger is it's a very cagey one. You really have to be positioned in a spot where you can consistently do that. So the only trigger that he's really going to be able to get off here is the Cassian trigger.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, and it's one of those weird things with Han where it's like you kind of have to play him as a range piece where he doesn't ever come close enough to engage. Yeah.
So yeah, he could Cassian move Han out, but then he's taking Han off of that point. So it's really not going to help. I mean, I guess you could potentially move him out of, still stay on the point, but move him out of engagement with armor to sit there and do a shot. But I don't think it's going to be enough to really do anything to the coverts. I mean, they still have good expertise with their expertise and everything like that. So I just don't see a point of doing that. But he could.
So he's going to give Chewie that move, which is good. It moves the bubble, the Chewie dice bubble forward.
Yeah, so I mean, just kind of like really kind of setting himself up for struggle 2 by getting a Chewie nice and far forward. An interesting thing. Oh wow! So yeah, this struggle basically is either all 4 points on on Frenchie's side or all 4 points on Matt's side. I don't think there's much of a choice there.
Yeah.
So basically, they're just double checking to which way they're going to go with this. So yep. So this is an interesting one with this new struggle because they roll 2 priority tokens or 2
Yeah.
priority dice.
I really enjoy it. It minimizes that feels bad that you were getting in the other ones where you rolled 1 and it kept throwing the priority to the other side of the map. And then
Right.
your opponent would roll and they'd get the same one and they already have it. And then you'd roll and you'd get the same one again. And I think it helps minimize that feels bad.
Yeah, I know there's a lot of, especially like when you roll the same dice over and over and the point never moves. I know there's a lot of feels bad that happens with that. So
Yeah, and I do like where if you roll the same one, your opponent gets to choose one of the other 2 eligible options to throw it on
yeah,
to.
which is pretty cool. Very cool. All right, so he does pull Chewie. Chewie can hit pretty hard if like depending on what he's doing. I mean, he does have 2 shoves if he wants to sit there and go that route. I mean, shove on 1, shove on 3. So he's a pretty solid character to displace with his dice.
I don't know how great this Chewie pull is, just because he has both priority points he needs to try to get onto, and I don't believe Chewie moves anybody, so he's not going to be able to get priority. So he'll only be able to score 2 this turn.
Yeah, I mean, and he's got to get a wound on the coverts in order to do that. So I don't know if that's the right play. I mean, like, yeah, it looks like he's still going to move forward and try and do that. I mean,
Yeah, so he used his tactic to dash towards a primary. Oh,
so
it
not
is
wise
not
to upset
wise
a
to
rookie.
upset a Wookiee.
So basically, this is a 5 dice attack roll, attack dice, and basically for each damage.
Wow.
Plus 4 damage with this. Not wise to upset a Wookiee though.
Yeah, that was
Softens him up pretty good.
fantastic.
Yeah. So those horrible defensive dice basically are completely forgotten with that roll right there.
Yep.
And then probably just going to do a nice little melee attack right into him, 7 dice, and I get So he's got coordinated fire damage from the commandos. I guess he could just focus attack, just to sit there and do 8 dice, just to make sure he kills them. Yeah, he did focus attack. 5 fails. He only went 1 down the tree because he had 5 fails. He only needed to do 2 damage. He needed 2 down the tree, and he unfortunately didn't.
Three blocks at an expertise to give 1 more, 4 blocks.
That was unfortunate right there.
Yeah, so he's only going to score the 1 point on this on his flip. That's a rough start going into it.
Yeah, it's 1 and 1 for the points, and there's 2 are unclaimed at this point. So only scoring 1.
Yeah, and then Maul waking up right here. Ooh, so he needs to roll the priorities.
He
Matt,
does.
don't forget,
I don't know if I would even go with Maul right now.
I would go with Maul if the priority is up where Cassian's at. And it depends. So this is why you need to roll your priority, because it changes your decisions.
Right.
Because if it's where his coverts are and where Cassian is, then if you go with Maul, you can just go murder Cassian and take that point.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's kind of what Matt's looking at, is like even before he decides to roll his priority, he still kind of decide whether he wants to go with him. And it's like, I just don't think it's a good play. Yeah, he has bow, he has the coverts still, or not coverts. He has the super commandos,
which need a force.
Yep.
And Bo-Katan, which needs a force. So yeah, he can't afford to reserve because he needs the 2 force.
Yep.
So he's going to go with Maul just because of the force economy here.
Right, and he knows that he has Cassian and he has Solo still sitting, and so both the primaries are still there. So it looks like he's just gonna.
Yeah, so he hasn't re-rolled the priorities though. So we'll see if that's noticed. But move, and then it looks like he's gonna throw a lightsaber.
Yeah, just trying to decide whether he wants to go into Han or Cassian. Neither one have any damage on him, so I don't think it really matters one way or the other.
Oh, I'm gonna make a debut here. Hold on.
And just
I think a very good-looking judge is about to walk in and measure this out. Oh, look at that guy.
Says some pretty good tattoo work there. I'll tell you that.
It makes me very identifiable.
Pretty good ink. Yeah, and that's the one thing. Like with the one thing I noticed with our terrain for sure is that it does make measuring very interesting sometimes, of like how far.
Yeah.
So basically, you did make the call that you can go ahead and within range 4 there.
Yeah, it was a very, very tight one, but looking at it, it looks like it was just in enough that I would say, he was within range.
Yep. So basically, just going to throw a lightsaber at him.
There you go. Yeah, Matt definitely should have measured it before he moved Maul, just to make sure he could move a little bit more forward to guarantee it.
Yeah, pre-measurement is allowed in the game. He definitely is something like. But again, he's been at this point in time. This is 7 rounds or seven games over the course of the weekend.
Yeah.
You're not playing like ideal games at this point in time. You're gonna slip up a little bit from time to time.
Yeah, just does the 1 damage with the lightsaber throw.
But he does get the shove there, which is nice. He's able to shove him straight back, basically off of that. Right.
Yeah, I don't think he would have the angle to do the.
I think the angle. Yeah, the angle I think needed to tilt a little bit more.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
right off the building.
Yeah, once he put the measuring tools there, it's like a lot easier to tell and go, yeah,
Yep.
there's enough of a shove. Because he took the ladder up, so he's one away from the edge. So one shove towards the ladder should get you off, unless you moved your guy further than you were supposed to.
Exactly.
Yeah,
right.
that's usually what I tell people when I'm playing, and I'm like, yeah, no, that should shove you off. And they're like, well, no, it just misses. And I was like, well, then you made an illegal move, and you're too far forward.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, because you can only go up to that range one. So, yeah, definitely
Yeah.
got him off.
Yeah.
I think the biggest
But
thing
he-
they were checking was like if he could actually go at the angle straight towards the ladder, because that's if he didn't do that way, then it might have been able to keep him off.
Yeah, because as you start to get away from the ladder, the gap is going to be bigger.
But he does pull Cassian here, so he's going to basically just kind of run Cassian forward and kind of go after Maul here. Maul is 100% healthy. So just going to do a range attack into Maul more than likely here, because, yeah, still wants to avoid melee attacks and potentially killing him in melee. And he does flip his card just to sit there and go to... Right. Man, and Matt's dice have been consistent, like with a lot of expertise, getting a lot of blocks on those defensive rolls. Really making it hard for Seth to really push through any damage.
Yeah. I mean, 3 crits and 2 hits. The blocks didn't do too much there.
Yeah. 6 damage into Maul, like with already having already having a wound on him. So Maul's not long for this world, it seems like.
Yeah.
But this game's going fast.
It is.
So again, only scores 1. He gets some momentum here. It's like he really needs to sit there and kind of turn it quite a bit. But here come the Super Commandos. So, looking at the Super Commandos, I mean, he could end up pulling... It looks like he's just trying to sit there and get everybody as far forward as possible. Did he roll his...
They haven't rolled priority since the very first activation of this struggle.
Yeah, they just kept on going with what the priorities were there.
They're just going.
Their priority rolls. That is too funny. All right, so now they're going to both jump onto the point, and then probably put 2 attacks right into Cassian here.
Yeah, I mean, getting a wound into Cassian's not a bad idea. Yeah.
Yeah. So 6 dice into Cassian here. Yeah. So yeah, only 1 going through against Cassian. Cassian again being pretty tanky there.
Yeah.
Just
Cassian doing a good job, just only allowing 1 box, so 2 damage.
but they'll still be able to retain that point. That's the problem. Is like Seth was just not playing so early in this game anyway, not really playing the objective game, and it's kind of letting it get away from him a little bit here.
Yeah.
So the second attack's going to go into Han. So nothing goes through on Han there either. It's like, and that's one of the things, like your secondary or your supports really aren't going to do a lot of damage into primaries hardly ever.
Yeah. I wonder if anyone's going to go for that top left point.
Right? Yeah, they just have not. Okay, they did finally. They are changing it around.
Maybe they have rolled it and it's just been rolling that and we haven't noticed. I don't know.
Yeah, this has been like just really getting away from Seth. It'll be interesting to see how he can if he can pull this back to his way.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult because going with Han there, he's he
I mean,
won't be
he
able
does
to
have
pull the expertise point away.
no, and he can't. I don't think he's going to be able to. He should be able to get. He is going to get two moves because he can. He can. So he's looking to where he's going to put his other dash on. I don't. It's interesting that he decides not to
I
put it onto Cassian.
Well, and I would have used that dash to dash the commando over to that point that's just sitting open that no one owns yet.
Right. There was.
Because then he guarantees to score at least 2 this round.
Mm-hmm. So he's going in. So he's going into Maul. He's deciding to go into Maul. Maul. If he kills Maul here, he does. Since he's in melee, would have a revenge trigger.
Oh, no.
So the nice thing is, Matt's basically kind of explaining, hey, look, if you go into him and you kill him, I have, yes, it's only going to be a 5 dice revenge attack, but I also get 3 dice for being wounded, plus I have 6 damage on me, plus even more probably after that, where it's going to end up being like an 11 dice attack if he decides to do that.
Maul. Matt is being nice here and saying, look, you probably didn't realize that Maul could do this, so
Right.
if you want to move away and not do a melee, I will allow it. Because, yeah, Maul would be doing a 5-die revenge, and then getting 5 additional dice from his damage
Right.
and wound. He'd be doing a 10-die.
Yeah, it would be really, really gross, is what would end up happening here. So
Han would regret that melee very badly.
100%. So basically, he decided to move back and stay out of melee range, basically, and just do a ranged attack into Maul here. So 3 going through, I think that's going to be enough to kill Maul.
That may be... Yeah, there you
5
go.
damage and expose onto Maul is definitely enough to put him down. So Maul's pretty much almost done here.
Yeah, he wakes up and then dies.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one thing about Maul is like he takes damage and to do his abilities and makes him really soft. He's one of the few units that actually does leave the board, but that's like by design. He's designed to sit there and just like really hurt himself and go down, but he hits like a tank when he does. So I mean, his next turn up, he's going to be doing a lot of damage into somebody because he'll be rolling a lot of dice.
Well, and the one thing that people forget about with Maul is that Seth did do perfect 5 damage to wound him, but if Seth did 6 damage, he would give Maul 2 additional dice on that melee revenge if it was melee, because that would put him up to 12 damage, and the revenge happens after the wound, so you include all the damage that's on him. So I know it's fun to go, oh, I overkilled Maul, but if it's a melee attack, you do not want to do that. Stop at the damage that wounds and don't continue on.
Yeah, because he's going to come back and do a lot of damage there for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's certain characters you don't melee, and Maul's one of them.
So basically what he's trying to do is position Han in a very specific place but he's like really kind of caught in between armor and the super commandos, and the super commandos have the ability where if you're engaged with them and then leave engagement with them, you take 2 damage. So there's trying to not even get into damage or into engagement with them to begin with. And I think a lot of people forget about that no mercy ability that they have.
Yeah. Yeah, he's not going to be able to get the move action advance. That's what he's aiming to do there. He's just going to Car Saxon's helmet stabbed him in the finger.
Yep. So yeah, what he's looking at is trying to get to the other point. So he's going to dash off of the and then do his move to get the other dash.
Okay.
So scores two. Scores both Pio points.
I forgot Chewie's down there.
Yep. Yeah, scores both of those points, which is pretty interesting. Pretty good move there. It's like still behind the 8-ball there, but I think, you know, now that Maul's down, it really kind of prevents a lot of the other stuff that's going on.
Yeah. Well, and, you know, earlier I was saying I would have moved the commando onto that back point that was open, but that was without realizing that Chewie was on that point already. Mm-hmm. So, you know, if he's looking at moving Han over and getting 3 bodies, so he definitely had the foresight to see that, and that's why he didn't take the easy point, because taking a point from your opponent is always better than just taking a free point.
Yep. So he pulled Bo-Katan here, moved her, trying to see if he could get within range 2 of the point on the top right there. Was not able to get within range 2, so he won't be able to flip that point, but now he still has Bo. Trying to decide what he wants to do here. Really just probably moving her forward. I don't think he has enough to sit there and flip that point back unless he's able to maybe push Han or push Chewie off of the point. I don't know if that's really something
he could do the commando.
Do with her. Yeah.
He can, if he shoves the commando off the point, he can take it.
But Han and Chewie are both on the point. Does he have? And he has the commando. So yeah,
he has 2 coverts on there.
The coverts are there too. So. I mean, the problem with her is you don't. The problem with her is her shoves are not until 3 and 4 on her tree, so she really doesn't displace very well at all.
Oh, it looks like he actually is looking to. Because it looks like he is going to
get within range of that other point and just steal that one instead,
and then still pop some shots out.
Yep, makes sense, but because she did end up within when she did her movement action, she did end up getting Mandalorians are stronger together by ending within the range 2 of the coverts there. So yeah, definitely going to be able to help her out here to at least get an extra dice on this one. So it'll be 7 dice. So 7 dice into the commandos should probably be able to put them down with 3 successes. If you can get 3 down the tree.
I don't know if you'd want to put them down just because you got to be afraid of
all the revenge triggers.
Well, it'd only be 1 because Han can't do his shot because he's engaged. But Cassian would be able to move someone, which then maybe doesn't allow him to take that point that he's trying to take.
Fair.
Although I'm looking at it...
It only goes 1 down the tree anyway, so just 2 damage into him. Yeah, and I think he was just looking to try and get the shove, but again, it's 3 down the tree. It's just not always going to happen with Bo-Katan. Only scores 2. I mean, it's been a pretty back and forth with this particular struggle. Matt just has not been able to like really pull it all the way towards him. Not getting any wounds definitely has kind of hurt him as well. Just trying to avoid those revenge triggers. But I don't think he was even trying to avoid them. He was just not getting those at all.
Yeah, he's just not getting results through it all.
So he gets K2 and wakes K2 up here. So basically, they're kind of looking to where the lines of play are for Seth because of where the 2 points are. K2's on a good side to sit there and basically potentially move up and take the priority point here.
Yeah, I mean, if he just moves on, oh well, he moves on to the point, shoves the commando off of it, and then he can take it and then lock it down.
And I think that's kind of what he's trying to decide if he wants to do that or not. I mean, it seems like that's probably the most ideal line of play there. I mean, and the nice thing is K2 has shoves on 1 and 2, so he doesn't really have to do a whole heck of a lot. 2 successes, and he rolls 7 dice with a crit on 1 expertise. So
Yeah, so it looks like he's looking for getting a wound here, trying to see who's going to be the easy squishy target.
and I think Gar's already down. Maul's down. Yeah, the coverts are probably the easiest one because they already have 5 damage on them compared to the super commandos are pretty healthy. So it looks like he's decided just to climb up onto the point. I think maybe he's just going to take some shots at the.
I mean, the one thing that I think Seth needs to remember is that he does have the 2 shoves on K2's tree. So he could go in and shove the commando off that point to take it. Because he was talking about
There's
needing
only one
to wound
commando
the
on
commando.
that back point too.
Yeah.
He's only got the one commando on that point. I don't know why he just didn't move forward and attack into him because he would have just been able to take that point.
Yeah. And he was saying that he needed to wound the commando to take it, but I think he kind of didn't realize that there's only one on there and all he needs to do is shove, and K2 could do 2 shoves on 2.
Right. So yeah, I think he could have just moved up and gotten there because it's like he's definitely got enough successes to go down and do the 2 shoves for sure. So didn't need to get the wound there. I think he was just hunting for it. And that's one of the things I've noticed about this game is like a lot of people focus on getting the wounds and getting the turning a character off, so to speak, when you don't necessarily have to do that. It's sometimes just displacement is going to be enough to sit there and take you to the next step of the game.
Yeah, I mean, if you're building a list around just wounding, then obviously that's your game plan going in. Like that's what your team does is just kill everybody. But yeah, just building a team around displacement and then not even needing to wound, especially with the Cassian teams out there, is such a good strategy that can work out. If you can just shove people away, give them pins or strains, like you just shut them down.
Yep. I mean, with K2, you can, if you get 3 successes, it's only 2 damage, but it's 2 shoves and a pin.
2 shoves and a pin is nasty.
Right. So I think that's really a good way to go there. It looks like he's, so he goes back to Matt here. He's pulled Bo-Katan again. I don't know if that's exactly the ideal play here. It seems like she would have been, So he is going to go with Bo. I mean, I think it's more along the lines of he doesn't want to sit there. He only has 5 force, doesn't really want to spend a lot of force. Yes, you don't. You have armor, which allows you to continue to use force no matter. It's only you don't have attacks on it when your Mandalorians are wounded.
Yeah,
but you still don't want to use it all up.
It's still sitting at 5 force with 5 units that want to spend 1 force on their turn is rough.
Right.
Especially because you have a shatter point. So usually your shatter point, you don't spend a force because you don't have it.
So basically, he's like going to move her forward, dash her forward to sit there and get the Mandalorians are stronger together. To get that 1 focus, and then she's going to basically just do probably a 7 dice into the commandos, probably trying to take them out. They're already sitting on 5 damage, so just has to do 3. So she's got 7 here, plus 8 for the focus.
Zero fails on defense.
And I think it looks like 5 fails on the attack, unfortunately.
One.
So only 1 crit going through.
He needed 1 box more.
Yep. Needed 2 successes, got 1. Those 5 fails really hurt Rare. So yeah, only does 2 damage. They are alive on 1. And she's just going to move right back onto that point again and just kind of stay there. So basically just move, attack, move back, and again, not doing a whole lot. I mean, is the problem here. So
yeah,
he's allowed Seth just to continue to stay in the game and not really do a whole lot of damage to him, not getting wounds when he really needed to. But it is taxing, the activation's kind of forcing it to go through the deck. So, and he will have, even if Matt does lose here, he's able to sit there and get the pull for the next one and get the decision on the next flip.
Yeah, I mean, Matt's characters are not looking very good right now.
There's a lot of damage on his characters for sure.
Yeah.
So Seth pulls his Shatterpoint card. It's like he's debating whether he wants to go with Han here or not.
So he's going with Han again.
Yep. Yeah, interesting decisions to keep on going with Han with Shatterpoint. I think there might have been more ideal ones, and he keeps on bringing Han up into engagement, which is
so right now he's moving Cassian up.
Yep.
But Han's stuck in engagement over there on that left point, so he's not going to be able to advance because he's engaged.
Yeah.
Oh, so he's just not even moving Han there.
No, just got to focus and attack into the coverts.
Yeah.
Yeah, just focus attack into the coverts. And
so
he is being activated
more
by the Shatterpoint card, so he is going to have impact 2, so he will be adding 3 dice. Because of Cassian's ability. So yeah, just look at again. Look, you have the judge come in there and take a look and see.
That good-looking judge there. Well, and the one thing you'll see, I have to move the range 2 tool because it's not even pointed at Han to measure the 2. There you go.
Looks like he's within range 2. I don't know. What do you think?
He's just out.
Yeah, unfortunately, the way the cameras are.
Yeah, but it actually was like a pretty decent gap between the measuring tool and him. Yeah, the camera placement doesn't do it justice.
Yeah.
Lots of results on attack.
Matt's defensive dice kind of keeping him in there, but he's still. So it does 4 damage to the coverts, which is enough to put them down. Again, Matt's characters, like his models, just keep on taking wounds here.
Yeah, and this is why when I played this list with the Mandalorians, I enjoyed Mando in it, just because there's a lot of wounds happening to your team, so having that revenge trigger off Mando helps out a lot.
Right.
Mandalorians are stronger together, but they have worse armor than clone troopers.
Yeah, no, they can. I mean, they are able to use that Beskar armor to sit there and turn on a lot of those, but they can only take so many hits for sure.
Yeah.
And they've been taking a lot in this game. So basically just doing a little bit of repositioning with everybody, kind of moving some models around. That is going to flip, 2 points? So he's going to score three of the points with both of them priority. So that's
1,
going to be
2,
4
3,
points
so 4. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. So he'll land it on 0 on this if he gets the 4. Oh, he's gonna do his not outgunned ability to do a 5-die into the super commandos. Wow, 5 natty blocks.
He did get 1 crit. Yeah, not quite enough to sit there and kill off those commandos. Still flips the point. It's taken 4. So they each get a momentum. They really pulls that back towards them. Yeah, I think Matt kind of sees the writing on the wall here and realizes that he needs to kind of potentially start looking for the third struggle for sure.
Yeah, looking at how full Seth's side is on momentum right now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, he just needs to sit there and really just score a couple of points, and he's good. And nobody's really wounded. There's not a lot of damage. I mean, other than the commandos, no one's really in danger of going down. I mean, you could get a good hit on maybe the Pathfinders or the commandos, but other than that, no one else is really at risk of getting wounded.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely take this turn to set up for the next struggle and just try to kill, because then the revenge you don't really care as much about, especially because Han is engaged again.
Right, and I think probably going after the Pathfinders is probably your best play. They are, because that would put a second wound on them to begin with. That way, when they do wake up, they're coming off the board.
Yeah.
So that would be where I would be aiming my attack at if I'm going to put any attack into anybody. And he does have the commandos, so they can probably put a couple of attacks in here. So basically just moving somebody back.
Yeah, moving
that's
them.
The commandos, it looks like.
Yeah.
So yeah, moving the commandos back. He probably can put a couple of attacks into these Pathfinders here and basically take them out is really what I'm thinking the hope is with this one.
Always going rebel. Oh well, he can get 2 wounds here. He can just get 2 wounds.
That is true. So really just needs 1 success to go through. And I do see a crit there. So, yep, does get enough to go through. Just needed 1 to go through to sit there and get the wound here, but...
Yep. 3 damage. Killing off the commandos.
Yeah, absolutely. But putting wounds on both these guys is pretty ideal, actually, because it's then they come back up. They're taxed. It does set them up really well for the third struggle with having both of those supports kind of hurt.
Yeah.
So he does have the Cassian trigger. Here's the one thing he could do is move
Han for the second wound.
Yep. That's probably would be the ideal thing, is just to move him so he's ready. So when a second wound does happen, he can sit there and do an attack. But
yeah, knowing that he's probably going to wound the Pathfinders, moving him out of engagement so he can get that 5-die revenge. which could then just shut down the coverts if you know, end up giving them like a pin or strain.
Yeah, 100%. So he's moving the Pathfinders instead to put them into engagement range?
Um,
It, po- oh, they were already
oh,
wounded.
the Pathfinders are already wounded. Got it.
So basically, he was just moving with one to sit there and pop the strain, which makes sense because then when they wake up, they're only going to have the one condition on them. I only saw 6 damage on them, so I didn't think they were wounded already.
They only have the 6 damage, yeah. So he just didn't put all the damage on.
Yeah. So that's kind of what threw us off there a little bit. But yeah, so they were already wounded. So basically, yeah, both of the units are already wounded. So so basically,
Yeah.
there was a misread on the Chewie's
Ability.
ability because he gives that expertise to cover to primaries and secondaries, and he was giving it to the Pathfinders, even though that they don't get it because they're supports.
Yep, but they got wounded anyways, so it didn't end up changing
Yep.
anything.
A lot of fails on that. 5 through on this attack. So yeah, they're just trying to determine whether the which dice are which here and what was rolled. So, but yeah, overall, still gets 5 through on this attack though.
5 through. But that's into
It's a
Chewie.
good
Chewie does
way-
not go down.
Chewie doesn't go down, but he's softened up a bit, and it's kind of a good attack again. Going knowing that he's going to be losing this struggle, he's already taken out one, softened up Chewie to where Chewie's pretty much going to be going down the next attack.
Yeah. Well, and giving him a strain too, so that helps out, so he can't just be freely moved around by Cassian. But yeah, I mean, it's a free attack at that point where you're just like, well, I killed the commandos. I need to attack something, so I'll soften up Chewie, lose the struggle, and now going into struggle 3, Chewie can die.
Yeah, and basically he's just repositioning everybody to where they're ready for struggle 3, kind of giving this one up. And he does pull the commandos who are going to wake up. So that makes them, again, another good target to go down next time since because they're already stood back up. And at this point in time, I think he's really got to look at kind of positioning them as well for where they're going to be for this next struggle. Where would you end up looking at putting them?
I mean, you got Bo-Katan over there holding down that top left corner, so you could move one onto there just so if it does flip to there, she doesn't take it for free. K2's already got that one secured on the top right. I would get one with bow and then one with armor there,
Yep.
just so
he's just gonna
that
take
you're
that egress
contesting the two.
Right. So he's just going to take that egress point, kind of get up on top of that point, and then just do
Oh, so he's sending them both over to the corner.
Well, it looks like he's going to move the other one kind of so he is going to move the other one towards Bo-Katan, but stay out of engagement with her. Which,
Yeah, it's looking like
pretty
he wants to
interesting
get
stay back.
outside of 2 here, so they can just do their shooty shoots that they wanted to do.
Yeah, so just trying to put some damage into Bo. Bo hasn't taken any damage at this point in time, so probably just trying to soften her up a little bit. Maybe push her back off of the point with a shove or two. Yep. Yeah.
Blasting away with Bo-Katan, or onto Bo-Katan.
Right. Now, of course,
Yeah,
it
which right
doesn't do any
here. Oh,
So just 2 blocks there, unfortunately, for Matt. 5 damage and a pin to Poe.
that's a mighty fine attack there.
Yeah, 4 damage and a pin into Bo is pretty brutal there. She is contesting an objective, so she does give herself protection and steadfast at least,
Yeah.
so she wasn't able to get shoved off of the point. But here comes a second attack.
Yeah, I mean, this can save her from getting wounded. And 3 natural blocks
Potentially.
is going to be good.
Yeah, he's still his dice have been like heating back up again. Only 1 fail that time.
Yeah,
So 3 go through again.
his dice are looking real spicy. Yep.
Does
And
4
that
damage.
was
It
that was
takes
what he
Bo out.
needed.
Yep. Yeah. All right. So yeah, he does get the wound trigger. Han's basically not going to do anything with the wound trigger. Does take the struggle, and then we're going to struggle 3. That was a really good pullback by Seth for sure. He definitely it looked like he was out of it at one point in time, but getting all that momentum throughout the course of the game, and Matt really not being able to pull it his way just by having some really unfortunate dice rolls really kind of hurt him.
So he blows up the town, gets 1 damage, which is all was needed to kill the Super Commandos. Super Commando Mandos.
And they were checking to see if Han's going to get that wound trigger for blow up the town, but I believe Han's ability is based
Yeah.
off of an attack action
Actually, I have
by
Han
an
up
enemy.
here.
It needs to be wounded by an enemy character, and I don't
When
think that
an
would
allied
trigger it.
unit is wounded, when an enemy unit becomes wounded after the effect. So when an enemy character becomes wounded, it could be anything, but it does say only once per turn, and that turn he got a wound, so it would not trigger.
Yep. So that already triggered once, so he wouldn't be able to do it.
But would he move Han with the second revenge because he didn't move him with the first one?
He probably just is not going to. He doesn't seem to want to sit there and do the move on much at all. And I think
Yeah.
that was kind of a little bit of a downfall that he had there, was not moving him as much and having him engage. He didn't really take advantage of all the revenge triggers he could have potentially had.
He has missed out on 2,
Yeah.
3 revenge triggers now, I think.
I think so. I think he's missed out on a few revenge triggers, unfortunately, just by having him engage. And that's
Yeah.
where I think Han's really tricky to play, is that you want to make sure that he's staying out of engagement at all times, because his revenge is only for shooting. It's like, and I think that's for people that have played this game since the beginning. That's something that they see a lot from playing Mother, because Mother, but at least she was able to move at least, but you were used to her only being really having that range attack was really where she wanted to be.
Yeah, like you didn't want to engage with her, but at least she could dash away to get the shot off.
Correct. Yeah, and he's just so his revenge is very dictated on like how you positioned him throughout before the revenge even took place.
Yeah, I mean it's kind of like playing Cad Bane, where if you get Cad Bane engaged, it just shuts down what he's really good at. But the thing is I don't think Matt has engaged Han. I think Seth has moved Han into engagement every single time himself.
Yep.
So it's one of those tricky things. I mean, we've seen from, a lot of really good players that Han is a skill piece. He's not someone you
Yep.
can just put on the board and excel with.
Yep. So Matt's kind of going to the tank here. He pulled Maul. He's gonna put Maul into reserves, pay the force for it, and pulls the super commandos here. Waking them up is pretty good, actually. They're able to sit there and probably jump, move, and then get onto the point.
Wakes him up, takes off the strain, leaves the pin.
Yeah, and that pin's fine because like you can just do a move action. One of them will sit there and do it. So one jumps, clears the pin, and then the other one will go ahead and do a jump. And then looks like... So he's taking cover here so that he can go ahead and do his full move action to sit there and get onto the point, basically. And basically position right on that point.
Almost falling through the manhole there.
Yep. And just moving the other one right onto the point as well, but staying outside of engagement range of the Pathfinder.
Yep.
Scores 3 points here.
Seth won struggle 2 with his very bad start on the flip,
Right.
which was good. But like this is what you expect on your first activation of a flip, is to be able to take 2 to 3 points easily.
Right. And all the priority points stay exactly where they are, which is really good for Matt. It is a Cassian pull here for Seth too.
I mean, Cassian is currently hanging out with a very dead Maul.
Right.
And you know what? Maul is in reserve. So at any point here, Matt can go, all right, it's time for Maul to murder and then leave the board.
Yeah, and with Cassian already having 3 damage on him, that Maul only having to do 7 is not going to be that hard, especially with him waking up and being able to pull, expose, take the damage, and just roll, 13, 14 dice?
Yeah, that's it.
So
that'll be a lot of dice on that attack.
right, because he's going to have 2.
He's gonna
injured
add
tokens
6, and then he could. I mean, he's going to give himself 3 more damage. So that's 7 dice added to the attack.
Well, plus the 2 for each wound too, so he's going to take like 6 damage. Really,
Well, it's 3. It's 3 for each wound, right?
Correct, but what I'm saying is he has his force. The force abilities are going to be taxed twice for each wound.
Oh
that he
my
has
gosh,
on him.
that's right. So he's going to do 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he'll have 7 damage on him. So he'll actually get 2 additional.
He will be adding 8 dice to his attack.
Oh goodness.
Yeah. So yeah, he would add 8 dice plus like a melee attack. Let's say it's his 7 dicer, so he'd be rolling 14 dice. Yeah. Yeah, so he would easily be able, like, he should be full triggering on that, so being able to kill just whatever he wants, as long as he's on the Dark Rage side.
15 dice and needing 5 results or 4 results, depending on your pathway. Yeah, I think it could happen.
Yeah.
But, you know what? Seth's dice have been very strong, so it could also just get shut down.
Very true. He is going to put Cassian into reserve here instead, which makes sense. Pulls the Pathfinders, waking them up.
Pathfinders. I can't remember which ones are the Pathfinders. I think one of them is down below that dash tool, and then the other one...
The one of them's kind of like in the center of the board.
Is by Chewie?
Right, yeah. So it's one of those where he's there is some movement that can happen. I don't think they can influence a point enough to sit there and take a point based off of where they're positioned, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, one of them's in the back there, the other one's in the front. So he's basically wanting to get with, looks like he's trying to get within 2 of the point, but stay outside of engagement range so he can shoot into either one of the commandos or one of the Mandalorian that are up there. I'm not sure which one.
So
Yeah, the other one's by Chewie. Looks like he's not really going to be able to get like the one's not going to be able to influence a point much. Okay, he's moving it back towards that center or that back.
Yeah, so he's going for that priority.
So basically, just getting right up there with those Mandalorian, the commandos. They're losing their hunker by moving them forward. I don't know if it's really going to be as impactful as he's wanting to. It is a priority point, at least.
Yeah. Well, but he won't be able to get the other one, so he'll just score 2 out of this.
Right.
If he does take it.
So he's spending like pretty much all of his force to sit there and add attack dice with the Pathfinder's ability here. So he is
he's going into armor.
Really be force starved. So no crits at all. Matt has basically 4 blocks.
He rolled 9 dice, got 1 miss, and then was devastated that he got no crits.
Right.
I would be happy with the 1 miss on 9 dice attack. But the thing is the crits wouldn't really matter too much anyways, because armor turns off crits.
Right.
So actually, it might be better to just do hits, because her crit to fail would then do nothing.
Right. So he only got 2 down the tree here. And doesn't do anything to take her off of there, only scoring 1 point.
I mean,
it's like it's really downhill, unfortunately. Like
the thing is you're going into armor. You can't expect a wound when armor is fresh like that. Not doing a single attack by a support. There's just no way.
So he pulls armor. He decides not to go with Maul here. Armor can just basically punch back. So basically he uses the tactic on guard to remove the pin.
I mean, I would just do a recover and then attack.
Yeah, he's looking at what he's trying to figure out, because if he gets a wound... Yeah, he's trying to determine whether he wants to sit there and clear the strain or just do the attack and try and get the wound for the win. Is because if he gets the wound, he basically wins here by scoring. But I don't know if he's... Yeah, but he's not going to be close enough to sit there and do what he wants, it looks like.
Yeah, so he's playing out all the different revenge possibilities to see if he gets the wound, will he regret it?
So basically he's spends his last force for Hunter and Prey and does an 8 dice attack into the Pathfinders here. It's interesting that both of them are going to be pretty much out of force, because Seth only has 1 force left.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Matt unfortunately does not have the greatest
two blocks and 1 free expertise.
He does turn a block to a fail.
So 2.
4 down the tree is still not enough to kill him because they were fully healthy, but it does put a pretty good damage into him.
Yeah, and I think that gives the shoves that he was looking for.
Yep.
Yeah, it gives him 2 shoves, so that way you can shove him away. So then Seth doesn't just get to move one person onto that point and take it.
Right. Scores 4. And I know they're probably getting pretty close to mission critical at this point in time.
I think he's about
Double fail.
45 seconds away from it.
So that was pretty unfortunate as far as the priority roll because Matt allows it to keep the back point over here, where like the back bottom right point first, and so Seth doesn't get to do that. Seth decides to go with Cassian here, and he uses last force for we need to blend in. So like basically, it's
you have to give everything here
without any force.
I mean, I think even if he. Oh, he was moving K2 there, yeah.
Yeah, with a we have to blend in ability.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing is I think even if you take that priority point and score it, Matt would still take it the next turn based off of the roll. I mean, it is based off the roll, but...
I can see it. So we're going to do a move action basically to climb.
Mission critical just got called.
So doing an 8 dice attack into the super commandos here, trying to basically take them out. 2 blocks by them. Man, his dice have been in fire, like just not rolling fails at all.
Yeah.
4 down the tree.
Yeah, 4. That's going to be pretty nice. I don't think it gives him the wound.
It shouldn't, because they were perfectly healthy, and Cassian doesn't do a lot. The bigger problem is, well, Cassian's on his light him upside, or lighted upside, so he's only gonna get 1 shove here. Yeah, so he's looking to see if he can push him off the point, but unfortunately, the way that Matt had positioned it, he's always going to be on the point here. And the thing is, if he was looking to try and push him off of the point, he should have flipped to the all the way side, because that has a shove on 2 and 3.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know, like a lot of players do is they go for the wound.
Mm-hmm.
So he was on the damage side.
He would have. It's one of those weird things. He should have been I don't know if Cassian can even wound here anyway. Because let's see, Cassian can do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9. He would have, if he wanted to get the wound, he still would have had to be on the all the way side. Because on the other side, he only does at most 8 damage. Oh no, I can do 9 there as well. But it's farther down the tree. I don't know. And again, this is the end of the event. I don't think they were... they'd played a lot of games at this point in time, 7 games, so I don't know if they had really... If this was the one thing that was on his mind more than anything.
Yeah. But yeah, so the shove doesn't get him off, and he's going to keep it, so he's just going to score the 1.
Right. Yeah, and then basically, no matter what, he's only scoring, 1 point here. So yeah. Matt just wins on the next turn anyway.
Yeah, so that would be game over there.
Yeah, I mean it's an unfortunate, and I mean when Matt had the ideal flip, he had already positioned himself so well. Yeah. Going into this before going into Struggle 2 or going into Struggle 3 at the end of Struggle 2 that he was in perfect position to do that. Didn't even need to take up Maul and remove him from the board.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is taking Cassian there, the only way you take that point is to go on his other side and get the double shove. To staying on the side he stayed on, and only getting the one shove is just not. It's not going to. It's not going to do what you needed there.
No, not at all. So yeah,
Unless you just get incredibly lucky with a wound.
Right. So a little unfortunate for Seth there, but I think it's like overall. I mean, Matt's a fantastic player. He wins a lot of tournaments, does really well. I mean, he plays his local. One of his local players was the 2025 world champion. So I mean, he plays some pretty competitive games for sure.
Yeah. No, Matt definitely is a very good player. He generally plays pretty clean and pretty quick. So, he plays to make sure he doesn't go to time and to make sure that it's a good game. And a lot of times he knows what the opponent's, expertise and stuff are. He knows those other units really well. So he can pretty quickly read what their expertise results are. So he can already be guessing what his results are there. So,
100%.
But
so it was a good match.
Fantastic game, yeah.
Yeah, good match. I mean, they both played really well. I mean, it's that second struggle was pretty intense. The fact that Seth was able to pull it all the way back was pretty good. So, but thanks everybody for watching. Definitely appreciate you guys tuning in and checking out the championship match there. And I don't know, are we going to try and do a couple other matches? Are we going to try and I know we recorded a couple other ones, but life.
Yeah, we might because I know we do have a couple other things like Star Wars Unlimited to do. So, if
next week
life
we're going
permits
up to, right? And next week we're going up to Denver to stream the Rocky Mountain Open as well too. So we'll see if we can get some other matches done up and everything like that. But yeah, we got other things on the horizon for sure. So again, thanks everybody for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.
Bye bye.